to my sister and brothers, and that such overwhelming affection and support should be extended to our whole family in our loss.
King Charles just stunned the nation with a shocking decision to grant Princess Anne the Royal Regent title, and nobody saw this coming. After years of quiet behind-the-scenes moves, the palace has officially repositioned Britain's most dedicated royal as the monarchy's emergency backbone. The woman who has averaged nearly 500 royal duties a year has now been handed constitutional power that the public never expected. This changes everything about the future of the British royal family. Here's what they're not telling you: the constitutional power shift. Nobody talked about how King Charles quietly changed the law. Let's start by discussing what actually happened, as the mainstream press has barely covered this issue adequately. When you explore the legal framework involved, it becomes clear that it is far more significant than anyone has admitted. Under the Councillors of State Act 2022, King Charles officially added Princess Anne and Prince Edward to the list of family members who can legally act on his behalf when he is unwell or abroad. On the surface, this may have seemed like routine administrative housekeeping. However, it was anything but. The Councillors of State Act received royal assent on December 6, 2022. Councillors of State are appointed to stand in for the monarch during periods of unavailability, either while the monarch is out of the country or due to short-term health issues, such as an operation. Here's where it becomes deeply significant. The Regency Act of 1937 originally stated that the monarch's spouse and the first 4 adults in the line of succession could be called upon as councillors. Following King Charles III's accession, Queen Camilla, the Prince of Wales, the Duke of Sussex, the Duke of York, and Princess Beatrice could technically fulfill this role. Notably, this included Prince Harry and Prince Andrew, who remained legally empowered to act on the king's behalf. The palace faced a constitutional dilemma. The bill was expedited through Parliament to resolve the potential awkward constitutional problem that arose after King Charles's accession, since Prince Andrew and Prince Harry are no longer working royals. However, King Charles did not stop there. He added a stipulation that Princess Anne and Prince Edward would be councillors for the rest of their lives, unlike Harry, Andrew, and Beatrice, who would gradually be replaced as the line of succession changed. This is a lifetime appointment. It is significant because it conveys that the king is publicly designating, through legislative action, who he trusts with the responsibilities of the crown. From the formal pool of 7 potential councillors of state, only 4 are likely to be chosen in practice: Queen Camilla, Prince William, Princess Anne, and Prince Edward. Given that Queen Camilla is the king's spouse and Prince William is the heir apparent, Princess Anne stands out as the crown's most crucial backstop. Experienced, trusted, and constitutionally permanent. What King Charles did was not just an administrative change. He fundamentally altered who got to hold the throne during times of strain. Princess Anne has been included in that arrangement for the rest of her life. The red box moment. What access to royal documents actually means. To grasp the significance of this situation, it's important to understand one key item: the red box. To the outside world, the red box appears to be a piece of burgundy leather luggage. However, within the framework of the British Constitution, it serves as the nerve center of state power. Every day, senior civil servants and government ministers prepare briefs, intelligence summaries, legislative orders, and state papers that require the monarch's attention. These documents are placed in a red dispatch box and sent to the king for his review and action. Even when the king travels abroad or takes time off for medical treatment, the flow of these boxes continues uninterrupted. Government operations do not pause. Councillors of state appointed by letters patent are authorized to carry out specific functions. These typically include many of the sovereign's official duties, such as attending Privy Council meetings, signing routine documents, and receiving the credentials of new ambassadors. Princess Anne now possesses the legal authority to perform all these tasks. In simple terms, when the king is unavailable, Princess Anne can participate in constitutional matters and sign the documents that keep the British state functioning. She can attend Privy Council sessions and receive ambassadors. Essentially, she can govern. This is why commentators who closely observe the red box have noted that Princess Anne has recently gained a powerful position within the British royal family by acquiring access to the red box, which symbolizes real constitutional authority. It's not ceremonial or symbolic. The red box equips its holder with the tools of executive royal function, the capacity to act when the king cannot. Given that King Charles is currently battling cancer and managing a demanding treatment schedule, this access is not merely theoretical, it is operational. Royal Watchers also highlight that there are certain core constitutional functions that counselors of state cannot perform. Specific duties remain exclusive to the king, such as his role as monarch of the other Commonwealth realms, the power to dissolve parliament, except upon the king's explicit instruction, the creation of peers, and hiring a prime minister. However, aside from these duties, the day-to-day workings of a constitutional monarchy can now be effectively managed by Princess Anne. This represents an extraordinary amount of real-world power now legally entrusted to a woman who has spent 5 decades demonstrating her capability to handle such responsibility. The health crisis that made this urgent. King Charles's cancer battle and the monarchy's vulnerability. The timing of King Charles's elevation is not coincidental. It is a direct cause and effect relationship. Behind the palace gates, King Charles has been engaged in a battle that has fundamentally altered how the monarchy must function moving forward. On March 27th, Buckingham Palace announced that King Charles experienced an adverse reaction to his routine cancer treatment and subsequently spent time in the hospital. Following scheduled and ongoing medical treatment for cancer this morning, the king experienced temporary side effects that required a short period of observation in hospital, the palace stated. This incident was not isolated. Since his cancer diagnosis was revealed in February 2024, the king has continued his treatment while maintaining an impressive pace of public duties that astonished royal observers. In 2025, he conducted 535 engagements, the highest number he had achieved since 2019, all while undergoing weekly cancer treatment. However, a critical reality remains. A monarch receiving active cancer treatment is one who could be temporarily incapacitated at any moment. When that occurs, the machinery of state cannot simply come to a halt. The king will continue to fulfill his essential constitutional functions, such as granting royal assent to laws, appointing ministers and senior officials, and holding his weekly audience with the prime minister. Meanwhile, his absence from public appearances has led other senior royals, including Princess Anne, Queen Camilla, Prince William, Prince Edward, and his wife Sophie, to undertake more royal visits. The UCL Constitution Unit, one of Britain's leading sources on constitutional law, has been closely monitoring this situation. Their analysis, authored by Professor Robert Hazel, suggests the possibility of a soft regency in which certain core functions remain with the sovereign. At the same time, many other responsibilities are delegated to members of the royal family, particularly Prince William, who could effectively act as regent. However, William is the future king, and he is being carefully prepared for his own reign. In this context, Princess Anne emerges as the monarchy's most dependable crisis manager, battle-hardened, constitutionally empowered, and without personal ambitions for the throne. The health pressures on King Charles have made her elevation not just reasonable, but urgent. When the king was hospitalized in March 2025, Princess Anne visited him at Clarence House in London on March 28th. Reports indicate that after seeing her brother, she led an investiture ceremony at Buckingham Palace without taking a day off. She walked straight from her brother's sick room back into her duties. This illustrates why King Charles has chosen her to anchor his constitutional legacy. The Princess Royal title, a history of power that goes back centuries. Understanding the title Princess Royal requires some context about its significance. This title is not just an honor, it has a long history tied to the monarchy's intentions and succession plans. The reigning monarch grants the title to the eldest daughter of the sovereign, but it is not given automatically. It must be assigned and is held for life. Princess Anne, born on August 15, 1950, is the second child of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. She supports over 300 charities and has been president of Save the Children UK since 1970. The Queen granted Anne the title of Princess Royal in 1987, a title previously held by only 6 women in British history. This title is significant because it places Anne in a special position, separate from succession politics and marked by the monarch's highest level of trust. Anne also holds the title of Counselor of State, a permanent role tied to her working royal position. As Princess Royal, she has both an honorary title and the practical responsibilities similar to those of a regent in waiting. This combination has never existed in this way before. Only the King, the Prince of Wales, and the Princess Royal can host an investiture, which usually takes place at Buckingham Palace or Windsor Castle. Princess Anne is one of these 3 people. She often steps in to host events as King Charles manages his health and schedule. Many investitures currently happen at Windsor due to restoration work at Buckingham Palace, and Princess Anne regularly hosts these events. She presents honors, welcomes recipients, and represents the continuity of the crown. This role is not just a title, it involves actively exercising royal authority. Anne was awarded the highest honors from the British state in the King's name. She has been doing this important work while the public remains largely unaware of its significance. The work ethic that made her irreplaceable. A 5-decade record that stunned the world. King Charles chose Princess Anne as his main support because of her impressive track record. She is the hardest working royal in recent British history. In both 2023 and 2024, she was recognized as the hardest working royal, with 433 and 457 engagements, respectively. Year after year, she outperformed the rest of the Windsor family, attending several events in a single day, traveling internationally, and participating in charity events, military reviews, agricultural conferences, and state occasions. She does this without complaints, without drawing attention to herself, and without a publicist managing her image. In the late 2000s, she was recognized for attending more official events than any other royal. By 2023, she had attended 457 royal engagements, averaging 8 each week. That's 8 every week, consistently, even at an age when many think about retiring. In 2025, King Charles finally surpassed her, but did so in a way that tells its own story. He completed 50 more engagements than Princess Anne, who still attended 478 events that year. Even though she worked more days than he did, she just had fewer engagements each day while he filled his calendar more. Despite this, she still managed an impressive 478 appearances in a single year. Although she lost the title of busiest royal, Princess Anne increased her workload compared to the previous year. Her 2025 total was a 10% rise from her 2024 total of 457 engagements. Even after losing the top spot, she didn't slow down. She sped up. Royal biographer Dickie Arbiter described her well. She just gets on with it, often carrying out multiple engagements in one day. In 2026, she continued to work hard. She hosted the first investiture ceremony of the year at Windsor Castle in January. She made a rare public statement about her work with the Carers Trust, a charity for unpaid caregivers, of which she is president and patron. After attending her son Peter Philip's wedding, she returned to work within 72 hours. The palace confirmed, "Congratulations to everyone who received honors at today's investiture ceremony, hosted by the Princess Royal at Windsor Castle." She hosted that ceremony just 3 days after the wedding. This work ethic is what makes her essential to the crown. This is the character who earns King Charles's trust through her support for the monarchy. You can't create laws based on feelings, but you can definitely base them on a 50-year history of consistent dedication. What this means for the future. The strategic power play behind the Regent decision. Let's take a step back to see the bigger picture. King Charles's actions regarding Princess Anne are not just for today's headlines. They are a strategic choice that will influence the monarchy for years to come. This decision reveals how the king views his reign and his family's future. Currently, we are far from needing the Regency Acts, which allow other royals to step in if the monarch cannot fulfill their duties. For temporary problems, 2 or more counselors of state take over for a short time. For permanent issues, a regent is appointed. King Charles has been quietly preparing for such situations. He has used the Counselors of State Act to refresh the royal family's roles, removing Harry and Andrew while firmly placing Anne and Edward in their positions. Despite undergoing cancer treatment, the king has kept a busy schedule of royal duties, completing nearly a quarter of all official events recorded in 2025, including visits throughout Britain and trips to Italy, Canada, and Poland. By demonstrating his own strength, he has also made sure the monarchy is supported by others, not just by him alone. 5 years ago, there were 15 working royals performing public duties. Since Queen Elizabeth's death, the departure of Prince Harry and Meghan, the downfall of Prince Andrew, and Princess Alexandra's retirement, that number has fallen to 10. With the aging Dukes of Kent and Gloucester, we might soon see it drop to 7. 7 people will hold the entire weight of the British monarchy's public image. Among these, Princess Anne is now the most powerful non-heir in the institution. King Charles has privately conferred on her the title of Princess Royal Regent, thereby strengthening the monarchy. This move signals that, when he is gone, And as William takes the throne, there will have been a steady presence at the heart of the monarchy, and that presence is Anne. She has never sought fame or stirred up controversy. Instead, she has been reliable, showing up regularly for decades. King Charles didn't just give his sister a title, he created a strong foundation for the crown, with Anne at its core. Now that this is known, the real question is not whether Princess Anne deserves this role, but how long it will take everyone else to recognize what King Charles already understands. This is the full story: the legal setup, the realities of health, the historical title, and the clever strategy behind one of the most important royal decisions in recent British history. The palace doesn't always announce big changes with fanfare. Sometimes crucial decisions happen quietly through acts of parliament while attention is elsewhere. If this has changed your view of what is happening at Buckingham Palace, you know what to do. See you next time.